Hello Stitchy friends! Welcome to the Starlight Stitching Co. Flosstube. It has been a long time, so if you are returning, welcome back. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Amanda Corbett. I am the creator behind Starlight Stitching Co. And this is the corner of the internet where I share whatever craftiness I've been up to lately. So it's May 7th today. I finally found some time to squeeze in a video. Is it too late to do a what I finished in 2024? I hope not, because that's what I've got in store for you today. I will follow up with a more regular floss tube to share everything I've been working on for the first part of this year later. Right now, I am focusing just on what I finished in 2024. Had to stretch to get my notes. So if you're into a few statistics, I started off 2024 with 40 whips. I had 33 new starts and 27 finishes with 16 fully finishes. So that means I ended with 43 whips, which is more than I started with. And I UFO'd 3. So unfortunately last year I did not get my whip count down at all. And I had tried using a system last year where when I finished something I put a button in a jar, and then when I had 2 buttons I could start something new. But that just became really difficult to keep up with, because when I would finish something I wouldn't always remember to come up and transfer the button, and then later I wouldn't be able to remember if I had or not. So yeah, that kind of was a dud. So this year I'm trying something a little bit different. I am just trying to limit myself to no more than 2 new starts per month, and trying to focus on finishing any of my various whips that are behind me before starting new things. Okay, so I guess we should just dive right on into all of my finishes. Now these aren't all fully finished. Some of them are just stitch finishes. And there is one of them that I don't have, I think just one. One of them that I don't have on hand that I'll have to insert a picture for. But in absolutely no particular order whatsoever, I guess I'll just dive in and pick something up. So I finished the Well Hello There series from Hands On Design with the button kit from Fat Quarter Shop. I finished March. I don't know where March is. I can't seem to find it. But the other ones I have here, some of them are on this same fabric and some of them are on different fabrics. This is, I think it's a 16 count. Oh goodness, I'm so out of practice. I don't remember what this is called. Fiddler's cloth. 16 count Fiddler's cloth Ada. So here is April and May. And I did purchase the button pack from Fat Quarter Shop. So I have all of the buttons. June, September, I guess we should do August first. Now any of the months that I'm skipping, those of them are already done. So here is August, that's actually finished on the board with magnets. September, October, November, which might just be my favorite one, and December. So I was able to get all of those finally finished. I finally managed to finish a monthly series. Another monthly series is one of my own design. No, I have not finished all of these either. But the one I did finish last year was the February birdhouse. And that fabric is coming off way brighter than it actually is. But there's this sweet little Valentine's-y birdhouse. I am also working on another monthly series. What are these called? February, or the monthly Quakers by From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. So I've finished February. And on my flat finishes like this that have washers on the back that can stick to magnets, I have been putting scrapbook paper to cover up the to cover up the washers and to cover up the back of the fabric, so I don't have, instead of this on the back, it looks like this, and I don't have to worry about the washers rusting and discoloring any of my stitching when they're in storage. So here is the February Quaker. These are all stitched on a 20 count white Aida. I have no, these are finishes from this year, not from last year. Sorry, I will have to set those aside for the Flosstube. Okay. I think I don't know if I finished this in January of last year or if yeah, it says 2023. So I stitched it in 2023, but I fully finished it in 2024. I'm not trying to include those, but it was here. So this is the Winter Quaker by Primrose Cottage Stitches that I just finished into a little pillow with some blue snowflake fabric on the back and some Lady Dot Creates Pom Pom. I believe it's the color Union. Here I have the, what is this? The Autumn Quaker by Primrose Cottage Stitches that I finished last fall. And then this one I fully finished into a pillow with some oak leaves. I leave a slit, or I take two pieces of fabric and sew them together, but I leave an opening in the middle. And then I blind stitch that closed. And then I add a little cross stitch detail on the back, just for some fun. But I thought the oak leaf fabric was perfect for this sweet little pillow. Okay, going through these pretty fast. I think this is American Sampler House. I can't remember the designer. I need to figure out how I want to finish this. Nicole Spohr recently shared her finish of this in a red frame, and I think I might copy her. I don't know. It's a little bit big for a pillow, so I think a frame is the right way to go, but it's very pretty. Then I have Midwinter Mourn Wall Tart. This was from the Jingle Ball, one of the Jingle Ball classes. I splurged last year and took several of the classes. This is the only one I got the kit for. And I'm not sure I want to finish it in the paper tart tin that was provided in the kit though. I'm considering just doing a hoop finish for this because I'm afraid the paper tart tin is just going to get crushed in my storage. So we'll see. Then I have Oh Holy Night Nativity by Amelia Doll. This is one that I've had as a whip for a really long time that I restarted on I think this is a 20 count fabric. And once I restarted it on a different fabric and was happier with how it looked, I flew through it. I got this done in no time at all. So now I just need to finish this sweet little nativity into a full finish. Let's go ahead and continue with, yeah, this is the only other thing I finished from Jingle Ball. So this is the Winter Woodland Star by Hello from Liz Matthews. And I just stitched this on some raw linen. I believe it's a 16 count. with the called for DMC. And I just used some beads from my stash to do the beaded trim according to the class directions. Okay, now we have some class items from the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher retreat that was last spring, almost a year ago, I think. First, I have the Garden's Glory stockings from Lindy Stitches. There are 3. So there's the vegetables and the butterflies and then the raspberries. And they're adorable. The one that I hand stitched, which I think is this one, has a better curved toe than the ones I did on the machine. Then there was the, I think this is the Kansas City Sewing Roll by Becky Noland is the designer's name, but that's not the company name. I don't recall. It's not coming to me right now. But a sweet little sampler that was finished into a sewing roll. So there's a pocket here and then a little piece of flannel fabric to put a needle on and then some ribbons to tie it with. Very cute. Then we have the Amelia Pincushion Doll by Julia Punti Antici. So the class came with the doll and all of the fabrics, and then this portion of the dress here is what we stitched, and then we finished it into the doll. She is so pretty. And then we have the Christmas Village drum, which unfortunately is a little bit dusty. And I know I shared this several times last spring as well. But it is such a cute drum and was an excellent class to attend because now I know how to assemble a drum. And the beautiful pins on top. Okay, next. What's next? We have, what is this? This is Autumn Folk by Hands On Design, and it's on the Folk Paddle by Chantel's 141 Design Company. It's not centered, is it? Either that or I'm just not holding it straight. So I stitched this on Zweigart 32 count raw gold linen in the called for DMC colors. Very pretty. And then it's attached to the board with magnets, and again I put the scrapbook paper on the back to keep the washers covered, and it just snaps on in place. During the Jingle Ball, she released a Christmas folk pattern, and I stitched this between Christmas and New Year's, I think. But I didn't finish it until after the New Year had started. So here is Christmas Folk. And this is on the same 32 count raw gold from Zweigart with the called for DMC colors. And then just layered with this quilt fabric. Next, I finished up Snow Magical. This was a stitch along with Nicole Spohr at some point. And this was my first foray into using 40 count linen. It's not my favorite. It goes pretty slow. I have to use a hoop. but I did manage to get this sweet little guy stitched, and I love him. And it's finished onto the snow globe piece from 141 Design Company that I painted. And I just added some twine with a sweet little snowflake charm around the bottom. Next, I have Huga Holiday by Hands On Design. This was another stitch along with Nicole Spohr that happened in the summertime, I think, for Christmas in July. And I chose her blues color palette. So this is stitched on a opalescent white linen. I think it's 16 count. It might be 28 count. It was too big to fit in the frame that was designed for this. So I ended up using another piece that I already had that I think came from 141 Design Company, and found some quilt fabric that coordinated with the neutral colors. And it's a very soft and pretty, and I almost think of this more of a winter piece than Christmas. So I had this out with my winter decor. And the one piece that I don't have here is, what is it called? When Life is Done by Silver Creek Samplers, and I will insert a photo of that over here. I stitched that and gifted it to my mom in memory of my dad's passing. So I have 3 finished pieces that are Starlight Stitching Co. original patterns. And then I have one really big finish, which is where most of my stitching time was spent last year. So the first one, this is an original Starlight Stitching Co. pattern. It's God Shed His Grace. I'll give you a good close-up look. The giant flag over the fields. This reminds me of the scenery of driving through northwestern Missouri. So we're close enough to the Kansas-Missouri border that we go into Missouri all the time. Like almost any time that we want to go over into Kansas City, Missouri, we are driving through an area that has these tall hills with the little farmhouses on top. And this just reminds me of that scenery. And of course, we got to have the sunflower for Kansas and some clouds floating through the sky. So this will be released on my website soon for a PDF download. Next, I have Lakeside Camping. So one of the things that my family loves to do is go out and go camping, preferably by a lake somewhere. And we have the stars and different trees, a fire, the little camper by the lake, and there's a deer and a raccoon. And if you can spot it, there's the Big Dipper and the North Star in the sky. It's the one constellation I can usually pick out. And then there's lots of fun patterns in the trees. It really was fun to stitch. I almost want to stitch this. This one was done on a 20 count Navy Aida. I almost want to stitch this on a 16 count and have a bigger version as well, because I just love it so much. This will be released on my website this fall. The last one, I'm sorry, not the last one, second to last one. This is, what did I call this? I don't know. Merry Christmas to all. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night with the candle and the holly and a candy cane. Sweet little Christmas ornament. I finished it with some chenille trim around the edge, a ribbon hanger, and a little jingle bell on the bottom just for fun. And my last original design for last year is the Whimsy Christmas Biscor new. So that's what it looks like from the top, We have some very whimsical Christmas trees and stacks of presents. There's a holly and a lovely little stitch design. On the edges we have a snowflake and candy canes and holly. And here is the bottom. The bottom says Merry Christmas, and it's finished with a bright pink button in the center just to make it a lot of fun. This pattern is currently available as a PDF download on my website. Now, last but not least, I have the biggest finish. This one took most of my time last year. That's part of the reason why I lost track on the buttons, is because I spent so much time on this one piece, and I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to show it all. But here it is. Oh, let me scoot back a bit. There we go. This is Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. I stitched this on a 32 count silver opalescent, or not, 32 count raw silver linen by Zweigart. I did use my own color conversion. It is finished in a frame. I can't quite get it all in the video. I can't hold it back far enough. The frame is from the Rusty Roof, and it does just have a plexiglass cover on it to protect it. But here you can see it a little bit closer. Sorry for the glare. I don't know how to get the glare from the camera out of it, but I did want it protected, but I did not have the budget for museum mirror, or not mirror, museum, you know, anti-glare glass. And besides, if glass was in this giant frame, it would be super heavy. Oh, you don't need to see the cat hair, do you? There's a detailed look at the frame. It's dark with these beautiful coppery colors. I'm not sure yet where I'm going to hang this in the house. I haven't figured that out yet, but I love it. And this is my crowning achievement from last year. So those are all of the cross stitch pieces I finished in 2024. Thank you so much for watching this short little video, and I will be back soon with a regular Flosstube update of all the things that I have been working on since Christmas. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I will get back to you. And yeah, just have a fabulous week, and I hope you get some stitching in. Bye.